Hey legend, I want you to picture something most people avoid even imagining. You wake up, still half asleep, and someone sends you a message that twists your stomach. It's a photo of you, normal at first glance, until you notice what they've done to it. They've scrawled curses across your face, distorted the image, and stamped a message meant to freeze your breath. They whisper there's a dead body, and they want you to believe it's supposed to be you. The room goes quiet, your pulse stiffens, but even in that stillness, something stirs inside you. There's a strange heaviness that settles over you when someone tries to write your ending for you. A heaviness that feels staged, dramatic, almost theatrical. They expect you to panic, to crumble, to accept the story they're trying to force onto your life. But instead, you stare at that cursed photo, and slowly, a realization sharpens in your mind. They think they've crafted a threat. They think they've painted your final chapter. Yet all they've really done is expose how deeply your existence shakes them. People don't get bothered by the harmless. They get bothered by the rising. They get bothered by the one who refuses to stop pushing forward. The one who keeps going even when the path tightens and the air turns cold. And you, whether you've admitted it to yourself or not, have been rising. That's why they react with fear disguised as boldness. That's why they scratch curses over your image and pretend their words carry weight. They don't know how to handle someone who won't fold. But here's the truth. They overlooked. Ink can stain paper, not your spirit. Marks can distort a picture, not your identity. And fear, manufactured, cheap, loudly delivered, crumbles the moment you decide to stand taller than the shadows cast at your feet. The dead body, they claim, belongs to you, is nothing more than the version of yourself you've already outgrown. The quieter you, the hesitant you. You let doubt dictate your direction. That version is gone, buried in silence. You've spent years walking through rooms where people underestimated you. They watched you closely, quietly, secretly waiting for your mistakes. They wanted to see you fall, not because you deserved it, but because they needed you to so they could feel safe in their own comfort. But you didn't fall. You moved slow, precise, determined. Every step you took unsettled someone who couldn't take even one themselves. So look again at that cursed photo, really look. See the scratches meant to intimidate you. See the crooked marks meant to bend your courage. See the message dripping with drama, as if it was carved for a stage. They wanted it to hurt you. They wanted it to break something inside you. But when you breathe in and breathe out, something becomes painfully clear. The only thing in that picture that's actually dead is their illusion of who you used to be. Isn't it strange? The moment you step forward, the shadows behind you stretch and twist, trying to look bigger than they are. They think a threat can freeze you. They think fear can chain your feet. They think their loudness can smother your clarity. But they don't know what's already shifted inside you. They don't know how much you've learned to endure. They don't know how quietly your strength has been growing. But don't mistake this understanding for comfort. This realization isn't the moment you relax. It's the moment you prepare. Because once you rise past a certain point, the world around you changes shape. Progress comes with pressure. Growth comes with noise. The higher you climb, the more desperate the attempts become to pull you back to their level. Today it's a cursed photo. Tomorrow it's a twisted rumor. Next week, it's a fabricated story whispered behind carefully closed doors. No. But you are not here to shrink. You are not here to apologize for your momentum. You are not here to bow your head because someone tried to sketch fear into your path. You are here to rise with the calmness of someone who knows exactly what they're becoming. You walk forward, not loudly, not carelessly, but with a steady grin that unsettles anyone who once believed they could corner you. So ask yourself, who told them they had the right to define your ending? Who convinced them their curse had power? Who allowed them to believe they could decide your fate? Not you. Never you. You're the one who decides where your story goes next. And the moment they tried to scare you, they unknowingly confirmed how powerful your presence has become. This message, this scribbled threat, this twisted attempt to unsettle you, it's nothing but a sign that you've reached a level they can't ignore anymore, a sign that your growth has become too loud for their insecurities to drown out, a sign that your next move will shift the ground beneath their feet, because from this moment on, you don't flinch, you don't retreat, you don't look back, you walk forward with a quiet fierceness that they never expected from you. And when the truth hits them, when they realize the body in their warning isn't you, that you're alive, aware, sharper than ever, they'll understand something terrifying. Their curse awakened someone far stronger than the person they tried to break. There's a moment in every person's life when the air around them changes. You felt it the second you saw that cursed photo. A shift, a pull, a tightening in your chest that wasn't fear, it was awakening. Most people run from moments like this, hiding behind excuses or silence, but you didn't hide. You stood still, felt the tension, and recognized it for what it truly was, the world revealing its true colors. The masks slipped, the intentions surfaced, and suddenly nothing around you looked the same anymore. Because when someone tries to mark your picture with curses, they're not aiming at the pixels, they're aiming at your direction. They want to disrupt your focus, cloud your thoughts, slow your steps. They want you to question yourself, hesitate, doubt your progress. But pause for a moment and think. If you weren't rising, if you weren't becoming something sharper, something stronger, would anyone go this far to try to break you? That photo wasn't an attack. It was confirmation. Proof that your presence has gained weight. Proof that your voice, silent or loud, echoes in spaces you don't even step into. Proof that your existence reminds some people of the strength they refuse to build. And when people feel threatened by your growth, they strike the closest thing they can reach. Your image, your name, your confidence. But they miss the real target every time. They underestimate how deep your resilience runs. You've been shaped by moments harder than their scribbles. You've walked through days where your own thoughts felt heavier than any curse someone could write. You've faced decisions that demanded more courage than their threats ever could. And now, standing here, faced with their dramatic attempt to shake you, you can finally see how far you've traveled. Their noise can't touch your path. Their panic can't distort your purpose. But let's peel another layer off this moment. Let's talk about the version of you they think they're targeting. The one they imagine is fragile. The one they assume can be intimidated. The one they believe will crumble under pressure. They built that version of you in their minds, soft, frightened, uncertain. But that version died long ago, buried under the weight of everything you've already survived. The body they speak of in their curse is nothing more than that outdated identity, nothing more than the past you left behind without looking back. And here's where the shift becomes dangerous, for them, not for you. Because once someone realizes they can't hurt you the way they expected, their fear grows sharper. Their attempts grow louder. Their desperation becomes clearer. They start to notice something unsettling. You don't react the way they predicted. You don't break. You don't panic. You don't plead. Instead, you move with a calmness that confuses them. A calmness that reflects strength they never saw coming. No, no, no. This calmness isn't a weakness. It's control. It's awareness. It's the discipline built from surviving storms no one knows about. The kind of discipline that can't be shaken by cursed ink or dramatic messages. You carry that discipline like armor, not shiny, not loud, not flaunted, just there, unmovable. So now the question becomes, what do you do next? You've seen the curse, you've felt the shift, you've recognized what it means. Do you retreat? Do you shrink? Do you let their message guide your steps? Of course not, because deep down, something inside you has already awakened, a sharper instinct, a colder focus, a clearer direction. You're not stepping back, you're stepping forward. And forward is where the real transformation happens. Forward is where you stop responding emotionally and start responding strategically. Forward is where you detach from the noise and attach only to your mission. Forward is where you stop proving yourself to people and start proving yourself to yourself. This is where your gaze narrows. This is where your pace steadies. This is where you walk into the next chapter with a presence that makes even the confident ones uncomfortable. The ones who cursed your photo had no idea they were helping you. They thought they were weakening you, but they handed you clarity. They revealed themselves. They exposed the limits of their courage. And without knowing it, they reminded you of your own. Because if someone is willing to dramatize your image, twist your name, or invent your ending, that means you've already stepped beyond the territory of the average. They see something in you they can't see in themselves, and instead of fixing their own path, they try to interrupt yours. But they forgot one critical thing: pressure only strengthens someone who has already learned how to survive it. So here you stand. Not broken, not shaken, not afraid. You stand taller because of their attempt. You stand quieter because you don't need noise to prove anything. You stand sharper because experience has carved out every weakness you once carried. And you stand ready, ready for the next move, ready for the next challenge, ready for the next chapter. There comes a point where silence is no longer about peace. It's about preparation. You've stepped through the shock, through the shift, and now you're standing in that rare, heavy calm before your next move. This is the moment that separates those who fall from those who transform. Most people never reach this point because they retreat too early, but you're still here, still breathing steady, still focused, still learning from the pressure. They tried to weaponize against you. But understand something clearly. A confrontation isn't always a clash of voices or a storm of conflict. Sometimes, the real confrontation happens in the space where you refuse to react the way they expect. They wanted you to panic. They wanted you to crumble. They wanted you to lose control of your thoughts. Instead, you've grown sharper, calmer, more observant. And that unexpected strength is what rattles them the most. Because now they're confused. They cursed your picture. They expected chaos. They expected fear. They expected weakness. But all they've done is awaken a version of you that carries a different kind of weight. A version of you that doesn't move in fear but in strategy. A version of you that's ready to confront not them but yourself. This confrontation begins in your mind. It starts with you facing the doubts that tried to cling to your ribs. It starts with the parts of your past that whispered you weren't ready. It starts with recognizing every limitation you once believed in, then tearing it apart piece by piece. Because you can't confront the world if you haven't confronted the doubts living quietly behind your confidence. And you're ready for that. But here's where things turn. You don't confront your pain by hiding from it. You don't confront your fears by pretending they're small. You confront them by standing still long enough to hear what they've been trying to say. Not to obey them, but to understand them. This is where your awareness deepens. This is where your clarity sharpens. And this is where the rise truly begins. Because when the world tries to scare you with an image of your own downfall, the strongest move you can make is to reclaim the narrative. Not through noise, not through anger, but through a quiet refusal to bend. They wanted you shaken. Instead, you've become watchful. They wanted you to be fragile. Instead, you've grown precise. They wanted you confused. Instead, you see everything more clearly than before. No, no, no. Now the confrontation shifts from internal to external. Not by attacking anyone, not by responding to their curses, but by living in a way that exposes the weakness behind their actions. You don't need to react to their words. You don't need to answer their noise. You don't need to defend your path. Your success, your growth, your evolution. That is the confrontation. Your progress is the mirror they fear to look into. And the beauty of this moment is that you no longer walk for recognition. You walk because something inside you has awakened and refuses to sleep again. You walk because you've tasted clarity and can't return to confusion. You walk because your strength is no longer something you hope for. It's something you've built, layer by layer, through every storm that tries to break you. The people who cursed your photo thought they were writing your ending. But what they didn't know is that endings only scare those who have no direction. You have direction now. You have purpose. You have focus. And every step you take from here forward deepens the gap between who you used to be and who you're becoming. Their curse didn't stop you. It marked the moment you stepped into a new level of yourself. So here you stand. Not at the edge of danger, but at the edge of transformation. You're not confronting them. You're confronting everything inside you that ever whispered you couldn't rise. And you're proving it wrong with every breath, every step, every quiet decision you make. This is your turning point. This is the moment your presence hardens into something unshakable. Retaliation doesn't always look like what people imagine. It isn't shouting and it isn't chaos. The strongest retaliation is silent, calculated, almost unnerving in how controlled it feels. You don't strike back with noise. You strike back with progress. You rise in a way that forces the world to acknowledge the strength they tried to deny you. And now, after everything they threw at you, after every curse scribbled on your image, your rise becomes the answer they never expected. Because now something has shifted inside you. You're no longer fueled by fear. You're fueled by clarity. And clarity is dangerous to anyone who hoped you would stay confused. They wanted your steps shaky. They wanted your voice to be uncertain. They wanted your focus scattered. Instead, you move with a steadiness that unsettles even those who pretend not to care. Your calm becomes louder than their threats. This is the retaliation that hits hardest. You grow, you improve, you refine your mind, you sharpen your discipline. You build yourself into someone their curses can no longer reach. And while they stay busy trying to disturb your path, you stay busy upgrading yourself. That contrast alone is enough to break the confidence of those who wished for your downfall. But don't get it twisted. This rise isn't accidental. It's intentional. It's crafted through late nights of reflection, quiet mornings of planning, and a new understanding of your own strength. You're not drifting forward. You're walking with purpose. You're stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't crumble under pressure but absorbs it, melts it down, and turns it into fuel. That's how retaliation becomes evolution. And evolution terrifies people who depend on your weakness. They liked you better when you doubted yourself, when you move without direction, when your steps were small and your confidence was fragile. But now, when they look at you, they see someone who has outgrown the cage they hoped you'd stay in. You've stepped past the borders they tried to draw around your life. You've expanded beyond their expectations. And expansion always exposes their limits. The more you rise, the more their actions reveal themselves. You begin to see who acted out of insecurity, who acted out of jealousy, who acted out of fear. Your growth forces the truth into the light, and even without confronting them directly, your progress confronts them in ways they cannot escape. That is retaliation without hostility. Hey buddy, have you ever watched someone crumble? Really watch? Not just stumble, not just trip over life's little annoyances, but tear apart piece by piece, while everyone else turns their head, pretending it's not happening. That's the scene right now, right in front of you. Life is hammering at this person's chest, smashing the walls they built, cracking open every weak spot they tried to hide. And the thing is, they can't handle it. No armor, no witty comebacks, just raw, bleeding reality staring them straight in the face. Can you feel that weight? That pressure clawing at your ribs, at your sanity? That's not some story from a movie. That's life. Brutal. Relentless. And yes, it's looking right at them. Right at them. Look at the panic. Look at the confusion etched into their every move. Every breath is a battle. Every heartbeat is a countdown to disaster. And everyone around? They smile, they joke, they move on. But this person? They're trapped in a maze with walls that keep closing in. Oof, it's like watching a storm slowly swallow a city, one building at a time, and knowing there's nothing you can do to stop it. They thought they were ready. They thought they had the tools, the mindset, the fire inside. But here's the truth. Life doesn't care about your plans. Life doesn't care if you're prepared. And right now, they're paying the price for thinking they could control the uncontrollable. You might wonder, why watch this? Because there's a lesson hiding in the wreckage. You see, it's easy to look away when someone struggles. It's easy to shake your head and mutter, "Not my problem." But if you lean in, really lean in, you start seeing the cracks in yourself too. Yes, it's uncomfortable, painful, but it's also a mirror. This isn't just their story. It's a warning, a whisper, a challenge. Watch closely, because you could be next. And that's the kicker. That's the punch that lands when you least expect it. Life isn't polite. Life doesn't knock. Life kicks the door down and laughs when you're sprawled on the floor. And yet, there's something magnetic in that chaos. Something that pulls at the deepest corners of your soul and dares you to rise or fall. Every misstep they make, Every hesitation, every glance over their shoulder, every second of panic, it's a lesson in survival. They're learning it the hard way. Nah, not everyone survives these moments. Some crumble under the weight. Some collapse and stay down. But here's where the story gets twisted. The same pressure that crushes can forge. The same chaos that rips can build. And even as they falter, even as their world threatens to implode, there's a flicker, a spark, that small defiant thought whispering, "I will not stay like this." It's faint, almost invisible, but it's there. And if they grasp it, if they push just one step further, everything could change, or they could fall harder than ever. Now look closer. See the fear. See the trembling hands, the shallow breaths, the silent screams that nobody hears. Listen, that's life talking. That's reality, mocking their every attempt to stand tall. You feel it too, don't you? That knot in your stomach, that chill that creeps up your spine when you realize, yes, you're not as invincible as you thought. Everyone gets tested. Everyone gets cornered. Everyone faces the storm that seems too big, too wild, too cruel. And yet, it's in the eye of that storm where choices are born. Decisions, power, control, but only if you dare. Only if you stare straight into the chaos and say, "I will act. I will move. I will fight." So here we are. The scene is set. The tension is unbearable. One person, beaten down, gasping for air, trying to navigate a world that has no mercy. And you're watching, feeling it, living it, waiting for the moment they either break completely or rise in ways no one expects. Life is tearing this person up. And yes, they can't handle it. Yet. But that's exactly why you're here. That's exactly why you need to see what comes next. Because in the depths of despair, in the cracks of failure, lies the fuel that ignites transformation. And the question is, will they use it, or will it crush them entirely? But here's the twist. Here's the part most people miss. The pain, the fear, the chaos, they're not the end. No. They're the test. The fire that decides what breaks and what survives. Every shattered piece of this person's world, every failure, every trembling step, it's a message loud and clear. Life isn't trying to defeat them, it's daring them to claw back, to find the strength they didn't even know existed. Imagine it. Imagine standing on the edge of collapse and realizing just for a moment that the fall isn't the story, the climb is. Look at them. Watch closely. See the hesitation? The doubt painted across their face? That's where the magic hides. Most people run from it. Most people turn away. But the ones who rise, they lean in. They embrace the chaos. Oof. They take the broken pieces, the weight, the pain, and they twist it into fuel. It's messy, brutal, unforgiving. But that's life at its rawest, its purest. And that's where power is born. Not in comfort, not in safety, but here in the storm. Now, imagine yourself in their shoes, feeling the walls close in, feeling your own heartbeat thundering like a drum you can't escape. What would you do? Freeze? Cry? Or ignite something dark, deep, dangerous within yourself? That's the moment that separates the weak from the ones who rewrite their story. Those trembling hands, that shallow breath, that panic. It's not the end. It's the beginning of everything you thought you couldn't survive. And the best part? The spark is already there, waiting, hungry. It just needs a choice, a move, a single step forward, even when every instinct screams backward. Think about it. Every hero, every survivor, every person who stared life straight in the face, they all started here, right in the chaos, right in the fear, right in the absolute terror of losing control. They weren't born ready. They were born willing to feel every cut, every bruise, every heart-pounding second of terror, and then rise anyway. That's the secret. The raw, ugly, frightening secret. Nah, nobody hands it to you. Nobody whispers it softly. You have to take it. You have to choose it. And you're watching. You're feeling it. You're alive in the same storm. So what now? Will you stand there and watch them fall apart, letting the moment slip through your fingers? Or will you lean closer, feel the heat of the pressure, and pull yourself into the fight? The climb is painful. The climb is lonely. The climb is terrifying. But it's where you find yourself. It's where you meet the raw, unfiltered version of who you are. Not the version life pretends you can be. Not the version everyone expects. But you, stripped, hungry, burning. And if this person can even imagine moving forward, then so can you. And so can anyone willing to step into the fire. Listen closely. Life will always try to tear you apart. It will always push, always proud, always threatening. But the ones who survive, the ones who thrive, aren't the ones who avoid the chaos. They're the ones who let it crash into them, the ones who let it break them, and then shape themselves out of the pieces. That's the power hidden in every dark moment, every fearful glance, every trembling step. It's waiting. It's yours. All you have to do is reach for it. Stand up, step forward, embrace the storm. Because make no mistake, life is tearing this person up. They can't handle it yet. But when do they? When will they finally rise? The world will blink, stunned, unable to comprehend what just happened. And that world, that relentless, merciless world, will have no choice but to notice. And now, here's the moment. The one that decides everything. The second where this person either crumbles completely or rises. Can you feel it? That electric tension, like the air before a storm breaks? That's life daring you. Life daring them. The pressure, the panic, the chaos. It's all pointing to the same truth. You either step into the fire or the fire swallows you whole. There is no middle ground. There is no safety net. There is no pause button. And yet, here it is. The choice, the opportunity, hiding inside every shattered breath, every trembling hand, every faltering heartbeat. See them? Watch closely. Every instinct screams retreat. Every shadow whispers, it's too much. But that hesitation, that fear, that's where the power waits. That's the dark corner of your soul, where courage hides, where strength gathers, where survival sharpens its claws. And it's not glamorous, it's not polite, it's raw, it's ugly, but it's real. And if they, or you reach into that dark, trembling place and grab it, the game changes. Everything changes. And the beauty of it? Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else can choose for you. Only you. Only now. Picture it. One step forward. That's all it takes. One small defiant movement against the pressure, against the fear, against the weight of everything screaming quit. That step ignites another, and another. And suddenly, the chaos doesn't feel like an enemy anymore. It becomes the furnace, forging a stronger, sharper version of yourself. A version who doesn't just survive, but fights. A version who laughs quietly at the storm because it no longer controls them. Imagine it. Imagine standing tall when everything around you is crumbling. That's the prize hidden inside the panic. This is where most people fail. Most people let the fear paralyze them. Let the world drag them down. Let the storm define them. Not this person. Not you. This is where legends, survivors, warriors are born. Not in comfort, not in applause, not in easy victories. They're born in the cracks, in the shadows. In the moments when every nerve screams, don't. Every muscle begs, stop. Every thought whispers, give up. And still, you move. Still, you rise. Still, you fight. Shh. That's where the real story begins. The one that nobody sees coming. So what now? Watch. Learn. Absorb. Feel the weight. Let it crush you. Let it shake you. Let it expose every weakness. And then, do the impossible. Step into the storm anyway. Reach into the chaos. Grab the shards of fear and panic and twist them into power. Transform them into fuel. Feel that. That spark. That energy. That raw pulse of life roaring inside your chest. That's yours. That's always been yours. And the only thing left to do is act. Step. Rise. Conquer the fear. Face the storm. Take the chaos. And never, ever look back. Because make no mistake, life is tearing this person up. They can't handle it yet, but they will. And when they do, the world won't just notice. It will flinch. It will step back. It will realize that someone has finally stepped out of the shadows and into the storm, and nothing will ever be the same again. And that someone, it could be you. And now, here's the reckoning. The moment after the storm, when the world has thrown everything at you, everything at them, and still, there's a choice. Can you feel it? That raw electric hum in your chest? That trembling, unbearable tension that says, I'm alive and this isn't over? That's where transformation lives. That's where you realize it's not the pain that defines you. It's the way you respond to it. It's the claws you sink into the chaos, the fire you fuel with fear, the heartbeat you refuse to let falter. Look closely. See the aftermath of struggle, the wreckage left behind, the trembling shadow of what almost broke them. That's the blueprint. Every crack, every scar, every faltering step, it's a map that says, here is the threshold. Here is the line where surrender lives. Here is where greatness begins. Woof. Most people never reach it. Most people never even see it. But those who do, those who step forward into the storm with trembling hands, with ragged breaths, with everything to lose, they rewrite the rules. They become unrecognizable even to themselves. Imagine the power in that. The raw, unfiltered power of standing tall after every blow, of looking at the chaos that threatened to consume you, and whispering, not today. The fear, it's gone. The panic, it's fuel. The chaos, it's the forge. And you, yes, you are the weapon crafted in fire. Step by step, scar by scar, heartbeat by heartbeat, you are becoming someone impossible to ignore. Someone who doesn't wait for life to bend in their favor. Someone who bends life to their will. That spark that almost died in the panic. It's a roaring flame now. But here's the truth. The final piercing truth. This doesn't end with surviving. This ends with conquering. With taking every ounce of despair, every moment of weakness, every shadow that tried to claim you, and turning it into proof that you refused to break. That's the reward hidden in every dark corner. The prize buried in every nightmare, the trophy in the ruins of struggle. And it's not for applause. It's not for recognition. It's for the fierce, unshakable knowledge that you faced the storm and you chose to rise anyway. So here's the final call. Stand, step, breathe. Feel every tremor, every fear, every crack in your armor, and then do what they didn't. Do what most will never dare. Move forward. Take the chaos. Own the panic. Harness the fear and transform it into power. Yes. Feel it? That shiver down your spine? That heat in your chest? That's life acknowledging you. That's reality bowing, just for a moment, because someone refused to collapse. Someone refused to stay broken. And that someone could be you. Because in the end, life will always test you. Life will always tear you down. Life will always push, prod, punish. But the ones who rise, those who feel the storm, stare into the chaos, and step forward anyway, are unstoppable in a way the world cannot comprehend. Shh, listen to it. That's not fear. That's no doubt. That's your own heartbeat, your own fire. And it's telling them that surviving was never the goal. Rising was, so rise. Step into the storm. Own the chaos. Become the person you were always meant to be. And when the world looks at you, trembling, scarred, unstoppable, it will finally understand. That the storm never broke you. You broke the storm.